And new tonight, we are getting a better idea of what happened immediately before a high school football player collapsed and died at the hospital. Dylan Thomas never regained consciousness, and he left the game on Friday night complaining of leg pain, and then he collapsed on the sidelines. The Pike County student staff comes as a shock not only to his family, his classmates, and his team, but to all of us who are parents, all of us who have teens in our household, wondering how this happened to what looked like a very healthy teen football player.
Now the Georgia High School Association is offering some new insight as it releases its findings. 11 Alive's Nick Sturdivant walks us through that report. Nick?
Yeah, sure, and Jeff. Today, the Georgia High School Association met with the Pike County School District to go back and look at the game film from Friday. Since the death of 16-year-old Dylan Thomas, highlighted here, lined up at linebacker, so many of you have asked what happened, wondering if his death may have been linked to concussions or the leg pain that took him out of the game. The Georgia High School Association said in a statement this afternoon that Executive Director Robin Hines met with Pike County School Superintendent Dr. Mike Duncan and the school's athletic director to take a look at the video from Friday's game. They concluded that there was no indication of an injury until the second half. They go on to say that Thomas fell while trying to pursue a play in the third quarter. He reported a problem with the filling in his leg. He was helped off the field and met with an orthopedic surgeon and certified trainer on the sideline. We know soon after, he collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. His uncle posted on Facebook Thomas underwent surgery to reduce swelling in his brain and went into a coma. He died Sunday. We asked 11 Alive medical correspondent Sujatha Reddy whether that leg pain may have been an indicator something was wrong.
And it's highly unlikely that any kind of leg injury resulted in something that would actually cause bleeding in the brain. A more plausible explanation is he had some kind of head injury, whether it be during that actual football game, a practice before, or even something that happened off the football field.
In a statement, GSSA says there is no indication of any negligent action by anyone associated with Pike County in this incident. The coaches had taken every precaution and went beyond the required standards when working within the concussion protocol. Our thoughts and prayers are with Dylan Thomas, his family, his coaches, his teammates, and the Pike County school system and community. And it's such a sad story in the Pike County community, Cheryl and Jeff. I can't even imagine how emotional this week has been for the community and Dylan's friends and family there.
Sure, I think for a lot of people it's just hard to still believe it happened, and they're grappling with all of that, and we appreciate the report. I know there'll be more information to come, hopefully to answer a lot of people's questions. But in the meantime, we've just learned the family's going to hold a visitation for Dylan tomorrow. It will be from 4 to 7 at Moody's Funeral Home in Zebulon. That's about an hour's drive south of Atlanta. A funeral will be held the following day at 4 o'clock at Oak Hill Baptist Church in Williamson. The family's encouraging all football players, regardless of the school they play for, to please wear their jerseys for that service. They say Dylan would have really liked that. We have all the information for the service posted on 11alive.com.